Hey chums, we are here today at our house, and we figured we would just bring you guys up to speed on some of the things that have been happening this week. There's been a lot of news in theme park land this week. Before we get started, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. You're already here, you might as well do it. And go ahead and hit that little bell icon to receive notifications anytime we upload a new video. All right, so let's get started. I guess the first order of business is the bad news, which recently came from Universal Studios. They announced that they are not doing Halloween Horror Nights this year. That event has officially been canceled. Kind of disappointing. This would have been my first year at Halloween Horror Nights ever. And we actually purchased buy one, get one tickets. They were offering a deal where you buy one ticket and you get a second night for free. So we both bought the tickets, and the next day they announced that Halloween Horror Nights would actually be canceled. What's extra disappointing about this is this was an anniversary year. This is the 30th anniversary of Halloween Horror Nights. So that means next year they're going to be celebrating Halloween Horror Nights' 30th anniversary. And according to Universal's press release, they have some really good things in store. So we're just going to kind of have to trust that and see what it is that they're planning for next year, and hope for the best, and hope this is all over with by next year and we can actually go. So if you have purchased Halloween Horror Nights tickets, or you have purchased the buy one, get one deal, and you would either like a refund or to inform Universal that you would like to hold on to your tickets for next year, you can contact them at 877-801-9720. And you can speak with a representative. That's exactly what I did. They were very friendly. And they were able to refund the money for me, no problem. The next big thing that Universal Studios has done is they have updated their mask policy. Neck gaiters are no longer allowed to be worn in the park. That doesn't count as a face covering anymore in Universal Studios. The face covering has to latch onto your ears or behind your head, and it has to cover your nose and wrap underneath your chin. So that's really the big news regarding the mask updates for the Universal Studios. What's next on the agenda?
All right, so moving over to the Disney parks. In Disney, they also have a mask policy update. They now have a team walking around to make sure that people are wearing their masks and wearing them correctly. So you will see a team if you go to any of the Disney parks telling you to pull up your mask if you're trying to walk around without it. The other update with the masks is that you now have to stay stationary. A lot of people, they found, and we've seen this at other parks, were using the loophole of having a drink or food with them. So they were walking around and just holding a water bottle, for instance, so that they can take the mask off or wear the mask around their chin. Now at Disney, because of this loophole, they figured it out that people were doing that. So now they're making it so that you have to stay in place if you're eating or drinking. You have to go off to the side and you have to stay in place. So you can expect that if you go and you visit any of the Disney parks right now. Now, on a great note, if you're an annual pass holder, we did get back the time that we lost when the park was closed. But in addition to that, if you did not cancel your annual pass, Disney has rewarded you by adding an extra month to your annual pass. And that reflects now, at least in our account, we saw it that we have an extra month right now of our pass. So that's awesome. The other nice perk that Disney's doing right now for pass holders is a 30% off for merchandise at the Disney park and at Disney Springs. You can't get this online. You have to physically go to the park, or if you're like us, you're a silver pass holder and you can't go to the park right now, you can still shop at Disney Springs and take advantage of the 30% off. We've already made a couple shopping trips and we get paid again next week. So we might end up there again. You never know. As far as Epcot, over in the Epcot park, over at the Mexico Pavilion, at the Grand Fiesta Tour Ride, the animatronic Jose Carioca, am I pronouncing that right?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a video of the poor parrot face down. So Donald Duck and the other member of the three caballeros, they're standing and he's just sort of laying on the ground at one part of that Fiesta Tour ride. So they did take him off, and we are wishing him a speedy recovery because it is one of my favorite rides over in Epcot. I love Donald Duck, so I just love that ride. But That's what happened over there. And of course, at Epcot right now, they also have the Food and Wine Festival. This is going to be their longest food and wine festival. It says it's going on to the fall, but it doesn't have a date when it ends. So it is going to be going on for a while. It's a combination of the Food and Wine Festival and the Flower and Garden Festival, because unfortunately that was cut short because of COVID. Don't mind that noise, that's my cat. So that is going on right now, and they've got some fun food going over there, and specialty drinks. I know that a couple things that we saw is they have these nitro cake pops. They have a funnel cake that has corn. It's like a savory funnel cake. It has corn and it has cheese on it. So those are a couple different foods that you can find over at the event. And Remy, you know, of course, you always see him popping up around the Food and Wine Festival. So speaking of Remy, the rides that they were supposed to be working on over at Epcot, like the Ratatouille ride, the Mary Poppins ride, everything is still on hold right now. So there's no update of when that's going to start up again. But unfortunately, because of what happened with the virus, everything is still on hold.
All right, I guess let's move on to Busch Gardens. We've got some news from Busch Gardens right now. According to a post on social media in a Busch Gardens annual pass holders group, Rocky Mountain Construction was on site and some workers were spotted on the top of Iron Gwazi. Now, that could spell good news because, as some of you may know, Iron Gwazi was completed just before we got put on quarantine, and there was a stay-at-home order put in place. Once the stay-at-home order was released and Busch Gardens reopened, Iron Gwazi has been standing and not operating ever since. Come to find out, SeaWorld happens to owe money on Iron Gwazi and hasn't been paying their bills. So they can't open Iron Gwazi until it is paid for in full, I'm assuming. And there's two other coasters that need to be paid for as well. Pantheon over at Busch Gardens Williamsburg and Icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando. But the good news is that, well, there's a rumor anyway that it could be good news that RMC was spotted on site. Maybe SeaWorld paid their bill. Maybe we could actually see this coaster open soon. I really hope so, because I've been looking forward to possibly having the best roller coaster in the world an hour away from me. So I'm really, really excited about that. In other news in Busch Gardens, they are now having their Summer Nights Festival. It's on weekends from now until August 16th. It includes some special food, some fireworks, extended park hours. So you get to ride some of those coasters at night, which is really fun. Cheetah Hunt at night is one of the best experiences out there. Some of the special foods you can expect to see there are the loaded mac and cheese and the specialty cupcakes, just to name a few. And the fireworks will begin at 9 p.m. every night on the weekends during that festival.
Now, speaking of SeaWorld Orlando also has some events going on. They have a modified version of their food festival, the Seven Seas Food Festival. This festival is only running for 3 weekends. It's on the second weekend right now. So if you do go next week, you will find the theme will be the All-American Market. There's only one booth, there's only 4 offerings. So it's definitely not the seafood, it's definitely not the SeaWorld Festival that you would normally see. It's a modified version. Some of the foods that'll be available next week are Tennessee whiskey barbecue chicken, chicken and waffles, brisket nachos, and the spicy watermelon salad. So that's what they'll have going on next week. They also recently launched an event called Flicks and Fireworks. It was supposed to only be a couple weekends, but apparently it must be doing pretty good because they're extending it until September 5th and 6th. It's an event on Friday and Saturdays. It's sort of like going to a drive-in. So basically the way that this event works is it's $50 per vehicle, not per person. It is a separate ticketed event from your admission to the park. So it's like an after-hours type of thing. If you're a pass holder, you can get a discount. So basically you're paying your $50 or your discounted rate. You go in with your car. They have different movies playing. A few of them that'll be coming up are Elf, Trolls, Jurassic Park. So those are a few movies that I saw on the list that are coming up. At 7:45 for a separate fee, you can go to the food trucks and you can buy some food. At 9 o'clock, you do get to experience fireworks, and then shortly after the movie starts. So that is an event that they have going on right now. And also at SeaWorld, they have their Electric Oceans remix going on. So the big thing of that is the Light Up the Sky fireworks, which start at 9 o'clock. And that'll be going on until the 6th. That's Fridays and Saturdays.
I'd like to move on to a couple of other parks that are outside of the Florida area. We're going to move on to a couple of parks that are in other parts of the country. Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio has recently removed their reservation system that they had in place. So now you no longer have to make a reservation far in advance to ride some of your favorite roller coasters. I'm kind of assuming this may start happening to some of the Florida parks soon because the attendance has been down. Yeah, fingers are crossed on that for sure. I understand why they did it in the first place and employ this reservation system. Disney still has their reservation system in place, as well as SeaWorld and Busch Gardens. But the attendance has been so low that I can't really imagine that reservation system sticking around for much longer. So fingers crossed on that. Last and certainly not least, we're going to move over to California to talk about Knott's Berry Farm for a minute. Right now, they are currently open for their food festival, which is called Taste of Calico. But unfortunately, the rides are closed. You cannot currently ride any of the rides there, but the park is open for their food festival. If they can open this summer, they will be celebrating their centennial year. That's 100 years of Knott's Berry Farm, which is arguably America's first theme park. And I'm really glad we got to go there. That was really, really fun. It's good to check some of those coasters off of your list, and then to find out that this is America's oldest theme park, even cooler. So July 17th actually kicked off their food sampling. And if you do attend, you can expect to taste some delicious treats such as boysenberry churros and boysenberry barbecue chicken wings. That sounds fantastic.
Well, chums, that wraps up our week in review of the news that's going on with the theme parks. Hopefully everything will pass. This time last year, we were getting ready for our California coaster adventure that we did go on.
Yeah.
This year, we were planning to visit either Ohio or Pennsylvania to head over to those theme parks and ride some other coasters. But unfortunately, just like with everybody else, there's been a wrench thrown into everything. So it's just something that we have to deal with right now. This too shall pass. Let's hang in there. Let's stay positive. Let's stay safe. And again, if you're new to our channel and you want to see more of us, make sure to hit that subscribe and that bell notification so that you don't miss any of our videos. And we'll see you guys at the parks.